Hi everybody, Mary here from A Recreated Life, and today is day 23 of our Flylady cleaning and organizing. We are 31 days into getting ourselves out of chaos, and we're doing this before the holidays. Thank you guys. Welcome to all my new viewers. Thanks for tuning in again today. So, okay, today is Wednesday, and we all know that Wednesdays are anti-procrastination days. Excuse me. So this is what the Flylady says for our mission for today. It is time to look at the medicine cabinet, she says, and toss the empty bottles and boxes that are taking up space. While you are doing this, also take a look at the expiration dates on the medicines that are there. If you have some that need to be gotten rid of, take care of that as well. Grab a damp rag, excuse me. Grab a damp rag and wipe down the shelves. Don't take everything out, just lift, wipe, and put back. Your mission for the Stash and Dash space is to spend 5 minutes putting away the things that have a home. You know where they go, but you toss them in a pile while stashing and dashing because someone was coming over. The Stash and Dash spaces are just piles of procrastination. So what I did today was I don't have a medicine cabinet. I kind of have a weird little, kind of like where my toilet is. It actually used to be a closet. And so there's the toilet, and then in it there's some shelves where there's the guy that lives upstairs, that's where his stairs go up. Excuse me. So I just have a couple plastic containers on those shelves, and that's where I keep all my medicines and stuff. So I did do that, and I did film it, and I put it on the video here at the beginning, and I took care of that. I actually did find an old medication. I mean really old. Excuse me. It's a really old medication, and I think I've hung on to it for a long time because it's kind of a painkiller, and it was a prescription painkiller, and it's irresponsible to just throw that in the trash. I don't want anybody going through our trash, and I don't want anybody getting hurt by that. So I was actually planning on calling our police station because I believe they take old prescriptions, but if not, they can guide me. But I'm not gonna just throw it away. So I'm gonna take care in getting rid of it. Also too, I did go through my Stash and Dash was to my file that I had in my laundry closet. You saw it yesterday. It's a plastic one with a blue cover. Excuse me. And that's where I keep all my paper, all my files. And I went through that today. I spent probably 20 minutes on that today. So it was more than 5, but it really needed it. I took out papers from 2017, and again, be responsible and shred all of your paperwork, guys. So I took all that out today, and that thing must weigh 10 pounds lighter. I swear to God. I'm not done. There's still some files in there I want to go through, but I got a good start on it today. And I also worked for 15 minutes in my control journal. I worked on my grocery list, making up my grocery list, trying to think of everything I have on my grocery list. So anyway, that was what my day all involved. Okay, so here's a testimonial that you guys know I love those testimonials. This lady says that she's been doing the Flylady, let's see, she's just getting started with all the cleaning zones and daily missions. She says she's a 25-year-old woman and never really had a system for cleaning. She says she just moved to Hawaii, away from her family, and has a brand new baby, and she became depressed. She says, oh yeah, I bet nobody can believe I'm in Hawaii, but I'm depressed. But she said, you know, I'm a really family-oriented person, and I moved away from all my family and friends, and I kind of did become depressed. But she said, excuse me, she said her mother just recently came and visited, and while her mother was there, she and her mother started doing some cleaning, and you got her on a routine for her routines, you know, all the Flylady's routines for cleaning. And she says she's been doing it every day since. So, you know, it kind of lifted her out of her depression. I'm sure having her mother there helped too. She says, I feel so much better about life, and I'm enjoying my days like I should. My baby seems happier too because mommy's happy. I just wanted to say that you've blessed my life because I can do these missions and feel accomplished. That's the thing that I hope I'm getting through to people, that the sense of accomplishment that you have is amazing. That right there, that in and of itself is pretty amazing. Excuse me, before I go further, I also wanted to say that this being anti-procrastination day, yesterday when I made my calendar, I made a little list of things I wanted to get done today. I wanted to work on my car some more because you guys know how I procrastinated against that. I wanted to do some more in there, and I wanted to, there was a couple other things I wanted to do, but you know, I picked up some shifts at work. So I worked a little bit today unexpectedly. And so I didn't have as much time to get some stuff done that I wanted to do, but I certainly did my routines. And I did those things that you saw in the beginning of the video. So I did get some stuff done, and I feel good about that. I just didn't get as much done as I wanted. But there again, what have I been saying all along? My perfectionism. I make a list that's way too long for any normal person to do, and then I expect that I'll get it done. You know, I'm filming this video at night, and I don't usually, but it's the only time today I have. And so after, I'm thinking to myself in my mind, okay, well maybe after I do my video, I'll have a chance to do those couple other things I didn't get to do. I'm not going to do that. I need to rest. I want to rest. I need and want to rest. So I'm still working on it, you guys. I'm telling you, this is an ongoing process, and I think that perfectionism thing, for me, that's going to be my thorn under my saddle, you know, for quite a while, probably. Okay, so anyway, this lady's writing in about her calendar and how it's color-coded and all of that stuff. So let's see. She says, as we are getting back to basics, she thought she'd share her calendar. Since middle school, she says, or maybe even before, I have had some kind of a calendar, usually a wall calendar, she says. In college, it was a university-supplied calendar. She says, I'm a pen and paper girl. I am too. I really like that. And then smartphones came along, so she says I'm a gadget person too. I think she does both. Which right there, you guys, that tells you if you are on the fence like I am, you know, you can do both. Have certain things on your gadget and certain things on your day timer. Maybe you can do it that way. Anyway, she says, now I have a family of 5, and I love the Flyladies, the way the Flylady does her calendar. Let's see. 1 row for each family member plus breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Each family member is color-coded. I like that idea. To match her daily carry planner and digital calendar. So she has them all coordinated and synced. The Flylady, so she's talking about the Flylady calendar. Now, I just use my day timer, guys. I'm not promoting you to go buy her calendar. You can use any calendar, really. What she's talking, my point is, you know, I want to talk about the calendar, a calendar. She says the calendar stays in her office as a master control center. What a great idea. Each month begins with a big planning session full of all my calendars and planners. What a great idea. During the month, they all get synced on the weekend for the following week. What a great idea. I kind of sit down on mine on Sunday with mine and kind of do something like that. Future appointments are written on her in her calendar when made, and anything that pops up during the day on the go is digital. So there, she puts them on her calendar when she gets home. Isn't that great? She has a way of always having her hands on a calendar. I like that idea. Excuse me. I do have one suggestion, she says. Could the holidays and events be listed in the notes section rather than on the day? I simply cover with stickers now, which works for me just fine. Thank you so much, Valerie. Okay, let's see. Take advantage of the cupcake. I guess she doesn't have any response to that, so I guess that's it. Okay, she's talking about, this lady writes in, this is a Flylady questionnaire. She writes in and she's asking the Flylady about our to-do list. She's asking, what do I do with my to-do list? So she says she really appreciates the Flylady's advice on setting up routines. And we all know those are great. So she can get her everyday tasks done, the tasks that have to be done every day or every week or every month. She says, my question is, do you have any advice on how to get the one-time task done? Tasks like putting photos in frames, filling out financial forms, researching a new car battery, measuring for new curtains, and so forth. She says, my to-do list is way too long and it's full of tasks that only need to be done once. Okay, so the Flylady writes back and says, we all have these things that need to be done, The countdown to Christmas is here. Okay, you guys, this is October. I'm telling you, this is why we're doing it now. So she's saying the countdown to Christmas is here. We have lots of things that need to be done. Putting them off creates stress in our lives. In order to relieve the stress, I like to make a full list of what needs to be done. Sit down with a cup of coffee and just write things down, she says. Just write down everything you can think of that needs to be done. Number the list and start playing. She says start playing bingo. She's trying to make a game out of it. Nothing I would do, but I want you guys to know this is an option. You can cut the list up and put it in a bowl or roll a dice or 2. Her husband made some wood tiles that she numbered 1 through 12. She says, I pick out a number and do that item. When you look at your list, most of the things only take a few minutes. This is why we set up the anti-procrastination day. Boy, that's a good one. This is the day we can get some of those things checked off our list. Most of the time it is Wednesday. Any day can be anti-procrastination day though. If you set your timer, set a goal of checking 3 items off your list in 1 hour. Great idea. Set your timer for 15 minutes and just pick one thing on your list. No multitasking, guys. Let's choose that car battery one. You will need the make and model of your car. Then pick up the phone and call your area auto parts store. They are always helpful. This will take 5 minutes. After you have done 3 of them, celebrate. Another way to check some things off your to-do list is to put some tasks in a hat and choose 1 task a day. To move through your list quicker, choose a new task each hour. Good idea. Last year, we had a testimonial from one member who did one thing on her procrastination to-do list each day during the Lenten season. So that Lent, if you're Catholic, you guys know what that is. She did 40 days of anti-procrastination. I love that idea, she says, to sacrifice something you love and to add a new habit. Wonderful. Now you can't frame those pictures if you don't have the frames in your home. So instead of breaking the bank by going to purchase lots of new frames, think about recycling some that you already have by putting new pictures in them. Also, are the pictures even printed out yet? There are lots of steps to framing a picture, and we can let our perfectionism stop us before we even start. So this is a really good point for people like me who procrastinate because you want to do it all at once and it's too big of a project to do all at once. Cut it up into sections, like she's talking about. If you're framing pictures, well, if they're pictures on your computer, you have to print them out. If you're going to reuse frames, you have to, maybe you want to paint them or clean them or whatever, or take the old pictures out or clean the glass in them, or, and then you're ready to frame the pictures. So there's lots of steps you can take and do it 15 minutes at a time. It'll get done. She says pick just 1 picture you want to frame and not 50. You can focus on 1 and get it done there. That's a great idea. Do 1 a day. The reason you are having trouble getting things checked off your procrastination to-do list is because it is too big. There you go. That's just what I was saying I do. Break the list down into groups of 5. Put them on your calendar, 1 each day. We can easily do 1 a day. Put the full list in your control journal and check them off as you do them. Great idea. You just don't get overwhelmed by the full list. Eventually, with your consistency of doing 1 a day, you will get them all done. Celebrate your accomplishments. I notice by doing that, you're doing things that aren't like super important, and so all I can think of is when I'm going through my day and I'm really rushed and there's a lot to do, I always think, oh, I'm not going to do that. It's not important. Do it, no matter if you think it's important, because it'll add up. I mean, it's going to come around to bite you if you don't. So anyway, that's kind of my thoughts on it. Anyway, this is her morning musing. We know how I love those. Why do we allow our perfectionism to creep in even when we are only going to do 15 minutes worth of decluttering, she says. You know what I'm talking about. That nasty little voice in your head that says, I don't have time right now to declutter. I can't stand those words. They are the foundation of perfectionism and procrastination. That's me. I don't have time is a lie, she says. We all have time. It is how we use it that makes the difference. So true. Do you want to know why we won't allow ourselves to declutter for 15 minutes? This is not the way we have always cleaned. We couldn't just clean off a shelf in our closet. We had to pull everything out into the bedroom floor so we could see an empty, perfect closet and start over. Do you see how this perfectionism monster hurts us every day? Yeah, I do. When was the last time you made a bigger mess cleaning out the closet than it was in the closet? In our she-ness, it was taking, in our perfectionism basically, it was taking over our bedroom. At least when it was in the closet, you could shut the door. Our perfectionism paralyzes us. So true. I used to do that with my kids when they were little. I didn't like the way they cleaned their rooms, so I would clean them. It would take me an entire day to do it. Now, isn't that ridiculous? Why did I do that? What a waste. This is why I want to teach you how to clean out an area without it being an all day or all week disaster that you have to kill yourself over. I watched a born organized person clean out a drawer once. I was just blown away by how she did it. She dumped it on the floor. I almost died. That was an even bigger mess that made me crazy. I remember an email I got once from one of my fly babies. She was on a message board for house cleaning, and she asked how to dust her bookshelves and books. The born organized person on the message board told her to take all her books off the bookshelves and dust. This is what she did. I got the email that said, "Help! What do I do now? The books are everywhere." I had to tell her that dust does not get under the books and to use a feather duster to get behind them and on top of them. Great idea. Eventually, I talked her through putting the books back one shelf at a time. My sweetie would die if I messed up his library by pulling them all down at one time. I think she's on a stay at home people will follow directions, but only to the point that they get overwhelmed. Then they toss their hands in the air. I don't ever want you to feel this way. I want to empower you with your little timer. It not only gets you started, but it tells you when to quit. That's the best, most important part. We have a rule that we cannot pull out more than we can put back in an hour. Most of us have busy lives, and sacrificing an hour for cleaning out a closet is such a waste of precious time. I want you to be clutter extractors, not a one-woman demolition team. This means go in and pull out things from your closet and put them in a giveaway bag or the trash. You will need a box and a garbage bag to do this. Your 15 minutes is not complete until the trash is in the garbage can and the giveaway box is in your car waiting to be dropped off. Do not allow your perfectionism to get in the way of your new way of decluttering. You will not make a bigger mess. You will not make a bigger mess decluttering this way. The clutter will go away without you having to live in a total chaos while you do it. So set your timer and extract the clutter from a drawer. Even those of you at work can do this in your work area. What great suggestions. So today is September habit number 18. This is one simple habit. She says, somebody writes in and says, "Thank you for your website and your encouragement. For so long, I have felt like I didn't need to do the routines. I don't know why I thought this. Well, I have a 1-year-old son and a 3-year-old, and I have found myself going to bed later and later, and even though I was cleaning and working until my head hit the pillow, there was never enough time to do the things like getting my outfit for the next day ready, restocking the diaper bag, getting the coffee pot ready for the morning, and so forth. Mornings became hectic and unpleasant in our house, and I felt like I started the day at 5 a.m. but was already behind. Well, I finally decided to jump in with this month's new habit. And guess what? Having a before bed routine works. It has only been a few days, and already our evenings are more peaceful because I know there are some things that are priorities, like washing my face, laying out everyone's clothes for the next day, and the other chores can wait. Mornings are calm now because there is no last minute dash to refill the diaper bag or a hectic or a frantic search for missing clothing. This morning, my lovely in-laws are coming over to our house early to watch my boys so that I can attend a conference. Since everything I needed had already been prepared the night before, I found myself ready early and with 45 minutes to spare. That's amazing. This never happens to me. Well, I decided to bless my precious family, and I made whole wheat apple muffins from scratch. That's great, unplanned, just as a treat because I had the time and our kitchen was orderly and didn't need to be cleaned. Isn't that fabulous? She says it amazes me how one simple habit like the before bed routine can have a domino effect and change everything for the better. I'm noticing that. I'm definitely noticing that it affects other areas of your life. But anyway, you guys, I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm going to cut it short. So anyway, day 23, I hope you guys are doing great. Hope everybody's moving along like me. I'm loving it. Hope you are too. Thanks for tuning in today, guys, and I will see you all tomorrow.